Viewers, it's a great feeling when India wins a test match, especially when it wins it abroad. Coming back from a 36 all out and winning the next test is just simply out of the world. And to make that happen, in my opinion, it was the bowling that did it for India. We should remember that after the first test, they lost one of the frontline bowlers. After the first innings, in the very beginning of the second innings of Australian batting, they lost one more frontline bowler, and yet with just 4 bowlers remaining, they managed to bamboozle the Australian batsmen and bring them or keep them to a fairly modest total of 200, and the 70 runs that they needed to win, they chased it down with minimum fuss. And to understand how this happened, I must tip my hat to 2 bowlers, Ravichandran Ashwin and Jasprit Bumrah. Both of them were looking threatening at any time. Anytime they came on to bowl, they looked like they would be taking a wicket. And that kind of pressure that was built, that's relentless. To get a good Australian team out for around 200 is no mean feat. And especially this team, which boasts of the likes of Steve Smith and also Marcus Labuschagne and Ted Payne, and I can go on. So they're fairly good batsmen, and they managed to get them and keep them under 200 in all the innings that have completed thus far. That's incredible. Here I am showing the first dismissal of Jasprit Bumrah. Joe Burns caught behind. And if you look closely, and we are going to play this in slow motion again, if you look at it closely, you can see the ball start deflecting after it touches the bat. That is very, very subtle, and that's why it is thrown in slow-mo. And here you see that the drift has fooled Matthew Wade, and thank God they did not have a collision there, otherwise both of them would have gotten hurt. Luckily that didn't happen, that's good. And Ravindra Jadeja is very poised as he takes that catch, and it's good that nothing bad happened there. Now look at this dismissal. It is very, very special because they got Steve Smith trying to score, get off the mark. And here, when you look at the slow-mo of the same thing, you can see the drift first. When it leaves his hand, it comes in, and then it drifts further as he tries to play that, and his bat is drawn like a magnet. And that's what ends up him feathering the ball for Cheteshwar Pujara to catch. So this kind of bowling is just impressive. And Ashwin has been blamed that he does not perform very well in overseas track. Well, he's setting that record straight. He has 10 wickets from 2 test matches thus far. He is India's highest wicket taker, and I think it deserves a lot of praise. In fact, from law of averages, I expect Ashwin to get a big score in Sydney. Let's take a look at the 3rd test match that is going to be played at Sydney. Now, Australia would perhaps want a faster pitch than Melbourne because they will bear in mind that they got India out for 36 on a fast track on an Adelaide. And they may want to have the same thing. So if that happens, what should India do to prepare to counter that? In my opinion, India needs to get out of its ODI mindset and not want to play the ball unless they are really forced to, and then you make the bowler bowl to your plans rather than the other way around. I have not seen in the first 2 tests India leaving the ball on the height. For example, if the ball is on the stumps and the batsman shoulders arms, trusting the bounce and trusting the bounce to have the ball sail over the wickets. This is something that happens frequently in Australia, and if you don't have to play, don't play. This kind of a strategy helps because then the bowler will have to change his length or adjust his line to try and force you to play. If you look at the dismissals in the second test, many were playing, many got out playing shots that they should not have or they need not have played. Rahul Dravid would not have touched some of the balls that were coming outside the off stump. So that mindset is needed in test matches because uh, the further you progress into the innings, the more tired the bowler is going to be, the more easy it is for the batsman to score runs. So occupation of crease, staying some time out in the middle is very, very important. So that is something that India needs to keep in mind. Now let's take a look at who should be playing in the 11. I'm not sure about Umesh Yadav's status. It has not been declared if he is fit. However, I would say just for precautionary measures, just as a precautionary measure, to rest him for the third test and have him back for the fourth test, which is going to be on Brisbane, where the ball does swing and it's a very bowler friendly wicket. So assume that Umesh Yadav rests and assume that Rohit Sharma is ready to play. I don't think they would have flown Rohit Sharma halfway across the world if he was not ready to play. So you have two changes. Someone needs to come in for Umesh Yadav and someone needs to leave his spot for Rohit Sharma. Now, here's my thinking, and I'm always a little different from what the mainstream thinks. In my opinion, Umesh Yadav will probably make way for Navdeep Saini, although I would like to try Natarajan there because he has excelled in the T20 series and he is brimming with enthusiasm. He's a left-handed bowler. Now, Australians haven't played a left-handed pacer from India in the first two tests. That brings some variety. And Navdeep Saini is also going to be making his debut. And I think his two matches, his role, it looked a little so-so. So I don't know, but the management may think that, look, Saini was part of the first squad selected to play Australia. It is not fair on their part to let Natarajan, who was not part of the test team, to play. So we don't know. It's okay. Either way, it's fine. Now, what about Rohit Sharma? Who does he replace? So there are two candidates in my opinion. It could be either Hanuma Vihari or it could be Mayank Agarwal. So we have to find out whether Mayank Agarwal would like to make way for Hanuma Vihari to open the innings and let Rohit Sharma bat at number 5. Why do I say that? It's because Rohit Sharma has not had any experience playing in real conditions in Australia. He has not had match practice, so we don't know if he's going to be ready to play Mitchell Stark and Pat Cummins going at their fastest. So let's take a look at what Sydney is going to dish out. Let's say the Sydney wicket is faster. So in that case, Hazelwood will probably be hitting 140, 138 to 140. He is usually around 135 to 136. Pat Cummins, who is in at 143 to 144, will be in the upper 140s. That's a handful. And Mitchell Stark, who is already in upper 140s, he'll probably be in the 150s, 153, 154, and so on. So there is going to be speed, and that means less time to react. And I don't know if Rohit is ready for that. So I don't know if Rohit should open the inning. This is just my fear. So let's see who makes way for Rohit. I don't know if it's going to be Mayank Agarwal or Hanuma Vihari. Hanuma Vihari, we must remember, had a century in one of the 3-day matches that was played. So he can say, okay, I'm in good touch. In fact, he has been in good touch. He starts off confidently, but unfortunately, he's wasting good starts. Let's hope that he comes big. Well, let's hope that he opens. He has a technique for it, and he can open and make come good in Sydney, and that would be great. And I'd also look to see Cheteshwar Pujara also have a good long innings, because he's one of those people who has the patience and the temperament to build a long innings. And I want India to play well in the first innings in Sydney, and that makes it that much more difficult for Australia to come back. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe this video and subscribe to our channel. Once again, thank you and good luck, India.